Hi, and welcome to another day of Solaris' Summer of Love. I am your host, MC Solaris, paranormal romance author of the Orion's Order series, and I'm so excited to be here today to continue this conversation all about love. And I'm going to send the invite over to, let's see here, sending the invite. Trying to send the invite, sorry. One moment. I'm still kind of new to Instagram Live. And trying to figure this all out. I don't know why it's saying I can't find her. So let me see. Okay. Okay, I think I sent it. I'm sorry. It has been a day. So earlier I did a video. Oh, there we go. Hello. I sent the invite.
Hi.
Hey.
This is the first live I've ever done with someone else.
Nice. With someone else. Of course you've gone live before. This is the first time we've ever done like a video thing before.
It is. It is. I should have got the same picture in the background. I thought about bringing it and just copying your whole setup.
You should have. Okay, so let's kick this.
Yo, what's up, brother? Music's going good. Thank you. I'm gonna scoot back. I didn't know the screen was cut off.
It gets
Thank
all
you.
wonky. Hello. Thanks for joining. Hello.
Yeah, thanks for joining.
Okay, so
How you doing, sister? How you doing?
I do. Okay, so I'll just start off with a little intro and then we kind of kick this whole thing off. So today I'm so excited to be here for Solaris' Summer of Love. I can't take you seriously ever. And I'm excited to introduce you to someone whose name and face you probably have seen on my page before, and someone who's a sister of blood and by choice, and someone whose heart is so huge and carries so much compassion. It's something that I strive to emulate myself. And someone who is truly a powerhouse of talents, a singer, songwriter, spoken word poet, author, truly a jack of all trades, and someone who can never fail to have me laughing, and someone who inspired the character Star in the Orion's Order series. And speaking of, someone who wrote a freaking amazing song about Star, and I'm absolutely obsessed with it, and I'm obsessed with all of your songs and everything. Okay, so anyway, so without further ado, please meet Kesa. Kesa combines spoken word, hyphy, rap, pop, rock, and musical theater all into one. She writes with eclectic creativity and substance-laden lyricism. Founded on the idea that good music doesn't have to be centered around drugs, violence, and hypersexuality, Kesa's music hones in on just that, interesting music with a positive message. And today, Kesa is going to share one of her gifts in the form of poetry for love. Right?
What an intro! I need to carry you around wherever I go. Hey, give me a little hype. Who am I? Why am I important? Yeah, and ultimately, just a regular human who is often as lost as everyone else. So, today I want to talk about loving the life you live and being happy without reason like a kid. Getting back to what I call our true nature, the return to innocence. Shorty, that's the name of a guy I know. I met him outside of a gas station a while ago in Oceanside, California. That's San Diego for those of you who don't know. It was lunch, and I had just finished working out at Planet Fitness. I wanted to rush home to get more done, but didn't want to push my car to the limit. 1 bar before empty. So I decided to stop into the station for a minute. While I was waiting at the pump, I noticed up ahead a guy standing next to the building, sweat dripping from his head. He was digging out of a trash can, you see. Passers were walking by, ignoring him completely. So I walked up to give him some water and money briefly. I said, "Hey man, what's your name?" He smiled and said, "You can call me Shorty." Never mind the missing teeth. His grin was bigger than him, standing at around 5'2" + 3. He was a good-looking dude by the measures of society. Brown eyes, skin tone a few shades darker than me. I assumed he was homeless, glancing at his belongings and cart. But the one thing I truly noticed was the warmth of his heart. He was so happy and kind, engaged in conversation, a stimulating mind. When he spoke, warmth radiated from his soul. Now that right there, that's hard to find. You know, I'm kind of like a security guard. I asked the guy who owns the place right there next to that car if I could sleep on the floor inside at night. And in exchange, I'd make sure that no one would try and break inside. He denied. But it's worth a shot, right? But everything seems to work out just right, because one night I noticed some guys trying to break in that I had to fight. I guess the owner saw it on his security cam, and now I can sleep on the outside without getting in trouble. And man, it gets really cold at night. And I found out that if you're sandwiched in between those two buildings, it blocks the wind just right. Now, I still want to be inside because it's dangerous, but I can't complain because I got a place to sleep at night. I looked at him incredulously. How could this man generously feel so much gratitude endlessly? He continued effortlessly. I spend most of my days around these blocks, trying to bag up cans, bottles, and sometimes even stop to eat a little something. You know how it gets when your stomach gets to rumbling. He laughed in his infectious way, and I couldn't help but get carried away to nod and say, "Hey, Shorty, the girl can eat. I am always hungry, so I definitely know what you mean." We laughed, but internally I shifted a little uncomfortably. Because the truth is, I didn't know what he meant. My basic needs had always been met. "I hear that. What's your favorite food?" He smiled, wiping the sweat from his brow all the while, grabbing sticky cans with his hands and tossing them into a pile. "Pizza," I said, deciding to leave off the part about me being vegan. "Oh, that's great. Me too. Hey, you know what? I got a surprise. I've been saving a perfectly good piece of pizza pie. I found it. I'll divide it." "Oh, no, Shorty. It's okay. You keep it. I got food at home anyway." "Are you sure? It's got all the good stuff. Sausage, cheese, and, well, I don't know what that is, but it smells okay." I nodded as he took a bite. Man, this is the first thing I've eaten all day. And it's great. I cracked a few jokes and we laughed like old friends. But before I took off, I said, "Shorty, we as a society have a whole lot to learn from you, honestly. You have a good spirit and core." And all he said was, "Thank you. I just got a lot to be grateful for." When I got home and reviewed my thoughts at night, I actually cried. But, you know, if anyone asks, there was just something in my eye. It reminded me that I live a pretty abundant life. And no, it's not that I should regard the desire for more as demonized, but to more so recognize all that I have in front of my eyes. I also felt sad, knowing that this man deserved so much more. He expressed contentment, but it had to be hard sleeping outside of a store, not knowing when or where his next meal was coming from. But come to think of it, maybe my pity was misplaced in the long run, because compared to me at that moment, he was the happier one. For most of those who will hear my message, we are fortunate enough to consistently have our basic needs met, and then some. We take food, water, companionship, and shelter for granted, and then some. We focus so much of our energy on keeping up with the Joneses. It causes contention, apprehension, only too much is enough, hypertension, blood pressure through the roof, all because we forgot about the truth that material things and status symbols aren't what improves our emotional and mental health. But that's what a capitalistic society wants us to believe, can't you tell? More and more and more wealth. Work your fingers to the bone until it's farewell. Whoa. It's time to take a deep breath in and recalibrate. To shift our perspective to all that we have and appreciate. At the end of the day, life really is good in many ways. And at the end of the day, all we have in life are experiences and relationships. By the way, the one thing we want is/are good feelings. We want to love and to be loved. We want to enjoy our lives and to give out many thanks and hugs. We want to do good and to be good. To treat each other well and not worry about those who we don't share values with and how they perceive us. We want to have fun and laugh often. We want to try our best and only stop when it's in our best interest. And we want to contribute to something greater than self. To pay attention and to deliver help to anyone we can along the way. Life's meant to be enjoyed. The rest, that's just a psychological game we play. Now, if I haven't lost your attention, I hope you'll humor me for just one more lesson. I want you to take a deep breath in. Slowly release and close your eyes. I want you to think about someone who really enhances your life. Imagine them smiling, putting an arm around you and telling you that it's going to be all right. Now, this is a tool I use when I feel overwhelmed or lost in life. Now, when this discussion is over, I want you to do another thing. And this is not going to be foreign by any means, so let's call an end to the rapping and rhyming. Go ahead and open your eyes. I want you to grab a piece of paper and to write down 3 things you are grateful for in your life right now. What are they? Are they people, your sister, your brother, your parents, your cousins? Are they things, your bed, your apartment, your car, the air conditioning in your car? Oh my goodness. Are they experiences? Taking a shower, going to the grocery store and buying whatever you want, regardless of the time of year, regardless of the season. Focus on those things. And the point of this exercise is I want you to start thinking about all of the things in your life that you take for granted. Every day, even me, getting water. All I have to do is, let me get some water. It's so simple. I'm actually going to take a sip of water. Hold on. But I'm going off the top now, but we're constantly being pummeled with so many things, so many ads. We belong to this capitalistic society. So everywhere you go, we're being told you're not enough, you don't have enough. If you buy this, you'll have enough. If you do this, you'll be enough. Fuck that. Fuck that. You are enough. You have enough right now. And so that's the point of this. And I wanted to say, like Shorty reminds us, you don't need the thing to be happy. So please, whatever you do, don't fall into the fallacy of, well, if I get then, and if I am then. No. You have enough right now. So you need to start focusing on everything that you have. And I'm pointing at myself too, Marquesa. You need to focus on everything you have. Namaste, Shasha. So that's that's kind of it. Do you have anything to add? I know. Oh, I did want to bring up this one thing before. We were talking about this before. This is a true story about Shorty. And I love him. He's great. Haven't seen him since the pandemic. But not every homeless person we meet is going to be this beacon of light and everything great. And we've talked about this. So don't think that you're going to go and up the street and have this same experience. You might, but don't be calloused and disappointed if that's not what happens. And like I was telling Solaris, when I worked up in Beverly Hills for a while, and on my lunch break I would walk by and try and just bring extra stuff. If I had snacks, if I had water, if I had whatever, give it to any of the homeless people that were there. And I remember there was this guy, and he was there. I was like, hey man, do you want some chips? And he was like, are they sour cream and onion? I was like, no, they're just regular chips. They're actually pretzels. And he was like, no, it's okay. I was like, okay, so beggars can be choosers. I guess beggars can be choosers up here in Beverly Hills, but that's a whole separate thing. Hey, Finn. Finn, what's up, bro?
Okay, wow. For those of you who hopped on in the middle and catch the beginning, Kesa just, wow, you want to go back and watch the replay because she just gifted us with, you know, it's something that I was talking about, and even in the intro, it's one of her talents, this way of spoken word, this way of rap and singing and creativity, this creative expression that really is storytelling in itself, and it's so powerful. And I got misty-eyed a few times during the your spoken word. I don't know what to call it. What do we want to call it? A song, a spoken word poetry, or?
Yeah, I would say just a spoken word.
So I got misty-eyed, and you have this captive. It's like a captivating. Your words are captivating, and that's my homie Ty. Hey, same here. Same homegirl.
Yeah, actual sisters.
Yeah, in real life, if you didn't know. And like I said in the intro, we are sisters by blood and by choice. A lot of people don't know that because we look so, we look
right.
so different.
Right. Remember, we were like walking by someone one day on the beach, and he was like, let me guess. One is the sun and one is the moon. I was like, actually, yes. Actually, that's absolutely.
Actually, it's pretty accurate.
Yeah, that's accurate. That's pretty accurate.
So yeah, some people say, oh, we're lying about being sisters, or they just, right. Or they say, sometimes they see like that we look like twins. And I was like, kind of, maybe.
Right. I don't see that either. They're like, oh, let me guess, you just stay out of the sun a lot to you, and you're like always tanning.
I was like,
but yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. As a side note, for those of you guys who don't know, we are Japanese, French, Italian, and German. So our mom is Japanese and Italian, and then our dad is French and German. So I really have no business being this tan. I don't know what happened, and she has a little business being that white, but she's also a vampire. So,
right. Wear my fangs today, but they are
yeah,
pretty much 24/7. I got the vampire thing going on.
Yeah, but this is
so yeah.
Fun. I think this is.
Hey, Victoria. So I was gonna say, go back if you're just joining in, go back and re-listen to Kesa's spoken word poetry, or spoken word. I don't know sorry, I forgot what we decided to call it. Spoken word poetry, because it's just the way that you tell. I mean, you tell stories through your songs and how you create, and all of your songs that I've ever listened to, I love the fact that they are very they're powerful in a way where I guess I'll say it like this. A lot of the music that I listen to, or even if I just turn on the radio or whatever, it's mainstream music. It doesn't always have this sort of powerful message. And your songs are stories, and it's like you're getting lessons about so many different things, and the way that you evoke emotions through this, through your talents and the way that you share this. It's just, I love it. I'll not just because you're my sister and I love you, but I will always be like your number one fan. And I think that what you bring into the world is so powerful. And in fact, I actually, in your bio, I loved what you had in there. There was a piece, sorry, I'm trying to find it in my notes here. So you've never had any formal training in singing or production, but you don't think that matters. And you always say, if you want to do something, do it right then and there. Don't bog yourself down with the fears and excuses. Just do it. And so you wanted to make music, and so you did. and you didn't worry about how a song is supposed to be composed. You just started creating. And I think that that's so powerful for anyone who's watching, whether you create, whatever way that you create or you express yourself through creativity, whether it's songwriting or writing stories like I do, or whatever, makeup, I mean, whatever that expression is to you. I love that message, is to just, you know, not to be Nike over here, but really just do it. Just go out and do it. And what's holding you back from doing the thing that your heart wants you to do and that you feel called to do? And so I love that.
For you, and doing it for you. Whatever you do, do that shit for you. Not for the likes, not for the money, not for the praise, because that will never do. Yeah, you might be in this week, but then the next week it'll be out with the old and in with the new.
Yep.
But bringing that up, that's how I feel about your stories too. And for anyone who watches this, I know that why you follow her, and it's because you love paranormal romance stories, or maybe you just got into it because of her stories. I don't usually, the sex scenes, oh my gosh. But the main thing about those stories is I can feel, and this is not just because it's my sister, I will say whatever opinion I have, but I can feel that you are putting yourself into this story, and I can feel your passion. And because of that, it goes into the characters and it goes into the storyline itself. And I actually feel it. And the first story, I cried and I was like, what is leaking from my face? I don't cry. Oh my gosh. But yeah. And like you said, I think everyone has a story to tell. Everyone has many stories to tell, and they tell it in different ways, and it takes shape in different ways. And it's not always, well, now I'm a singer and I've always been a singer and this is how I'm going to tell my story. No, I started rapping a year ago. You started writing. And the thing that I love about you too is, for you guys who don't know, maybe she's talked about this before, but Solaris hasn't had formal training. She wasn't a writer. She didn't go to school and take all of these writing courses like I did. She didn't really write stories very much, but she's an incredible artist, and that's something you guys probably don't know about her with painting and drawing. But she just wrote this book, and I helped her edit Calypso's Heart. And the thing I love about that is she told me early on, don't change my manuscript, and pretty much don't change anything. I want this to be everything that I've done. If there's a comma, throw that comma in there. But outside of that, like, don't change anything. And I'm so glad that we did that, because your stories have resonated with so many people that good thing I didn't touch it, you know, like, good thing it is what it is. And like you said, and for anyone else who's out there and trying to like stretch themselves and wanting to explore a new creative outlet or something that they are unfamiliar with, it can be a bit scary at first, because you're thinking, oh my gosh, like what is this gonna, what are people gonna think of this? And I urge you to be your own best friend and your own cheerleader. And I have to consult. I'm so lucky I have Solaris built in. Constantly we're going back and forth. I'm calling her and I'm like, is my stuff shit? Is it total crap? I don't know if we can cuss on this. Is it total crap today? Because I'm feeling like it's absolute crap. Throw it in the trash can. What am I going to do? I'm a suck-ass rapper. My rhymes are terrible. And then she's like, listen, no, your rhymes aren't terrible, but she will be real. Okay, when you said this, kind of weird. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm keeping it. But in those moments, those dips that you have, it's so important to have people say, hey, you're doing this and you're doing it for you, not for the other people, not for anything, but you're doing it for you. And what is that quote? It's a Seth Godin quote. It's something like, do it and think well of yourself as you learn to do it better. It's something like that, and I love that.
That's actually coming up. Thank you. By the way, thank you. And that's something that's coming up super strong for me as I'm going through and editing, but also I'm going through right now and I'm listening to, I'm proofing the audiobook for the second book in the series. And I called you even an hour ago and earlier today, because I was like, the narrator's performance is amazing. It's spot on, but I feel like writing is total shit. The book sucks, the movie sucks, and it's this whole creative like roller coaster ride. And so I
Right.
absolutely agree. Like, be your own cheerleader, have people in your cheerleading squad, and like, you know, but continue doing it, and know that it's like an up and down journey. So whichever way that you create, whatever way your soul is wanting to create, or your heart. Yeah, she seems a lot calm. Kesa seems calm. It's true. It's probably because we're on here, and I'm usually
right. Social monitoring is what we call it. Right. It's the same reason why I'm not going to walk into a library and be like, hey guys, I just want to let you guys know that I'm a rapper, and you know, that I rap sometimes. People would be like, shh. But yeah, I completely agree. And last point is, everyone knows this, but it's nice to hear it again, that when we put something we create out into the world, look, I made this here, what do you think about it? Whether we want people to comment on it or not, they're going to. And some of the comments are going to be just downright scathingly terrible and mean. And we have to take it with a grain of salt. I know Logic has said he doesn't listen to the good or the bad too much. He tries to stay right in the middle. No, I listen to the good. I listen to the good, and I try and pay attention. But we have to remember, if you make something and it's not for your audience, like if I were to make, you know, like I said, I've submitted, it's like early on I created this music, and it was, I don't know how you can describe it, but you know, kind of funky rap music and super positive message, toes on the line of Disney a bit. And I put it on this website to see what people thought about it, just give some reviews. And people who basically selected that gangster rap was their forte, their thing, that's what they care about, they were rating my stuff and saying, this is horrible, this is fake, like this is Disney and lame, and you're lame, and you shouldn't be rapping. It's not for them. I'm not doing gangster rap. That's not me. That's not anything that I have. So like trying to remember that when we're putting it's towing the line of, why are we doing this? And if you're doing it for yourself, then it doesn't matter. But if you're doing it for other people, and this is where it gets a little messy because there's a hierarchy. First, I'm doing it for myself. Then, hey, if other people like this, if I could make money from this, that might be great. But always remember the hierarchy, so that when it comes to it, you're not changing what you do for other people, because then you're going to be shackled to them like a slave. Oh, they want me to do this. Oh, they want me to rap like this. Oh, they want me to sound like this. They want me to do this. You know what I mean? No, I don't think so. If I want to do an accent, I'm going to do an accent. If I want to talk like this, I'm going to talk like this. If I want to sing like this, I'm going to sing like this. and like we said before, putting out whatever you do. I know Seth Godin calls it shipping your work. Putting it out and not waiting until everything is perfect. You know, put it out, feel good about it, and then feel good about yourself as you do better, as you learn to ride the waves of music a bit more, as you learn to write in a more descriptive way, or in a less descriptive way, or whatever it is.
Absolutely. I mean, it's so true. And I loved what you said even earlier, just to touch back on that, as far as everyone has not only a story to tell, but many, many stories to tell. And so however that ends up coming out through you, again, whether it's through whatever creative outlet or creative channel that is, it's remembering like where it came from and why it came from and how that impacts you. And so yes, it can be vulnerable, and it's when it's out there in the world, and then when you see, you know, how it lands on other people. I always like to say, like, or think of it in this way, as far as my stories and my books, like they are a form of art, they're a form of creative expression, and so what's the saying? The beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and I think that's often said with art, and so it's the same thing, and it's like whatever you're putting out there. Is this creative? It's art in its own form, and art is a multifaceted thing. And so just remembering, like, be proud of whatever you create, and stay true to yourself. And if it doesn't resonate or land on someone, or if it lands on someone something in one day, and then who knows, an hour later, a week, a year later, it could land on them differently because they're a different person, and then they might see a different layer to it, and they might, and it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it'll be the same thing for you. You put something out there, and then a year or a day later or an hour or a minute later, you go back and you reread it, or you re-listen to it, or you redo whatever, and it's the same thing. It'll land on you differently because we are different people. And so anyways, at the end of the day, just keep writing, keep creating, keep singing, keep doing whatever it is that you feel called to do. And remember, and what is it that you said? Do that
Art
shit.
is what? I was going to say art is subjective. It's subjective, so don't let anyone tell you anything otherwise. And if someone is judging your music or your book or your whatever, they don't know about you, they don't know about your art, and it's not for them. But in the same breath, if it's constructive feedback, no harm in listening to it. But if you don't want to, that's okay too. You can put out what you want. You can Kanye it and be like, it is great, and that's all I care about. But it's subjective. So no one can tell you that your music is good or bad. That's their judgment. That's based on their own set of things. No, it's music. You determine that for yourself. But what? You mean whatever you do, make sure you do that for you?
Oh yeah, that. But I was also, just to what you just said, yeah, connect with other people, and that's how I've learned and grown so much. It's almost been 1 year. I think it's 1 month shy of 1 year of me publishing Calypso's Heart, the first book in this series. I know.
Has it really been 1 year?
July 20th. So we're just shy of a year.
Wow. It seems like so long ago.
I know. It's crazy. And I've learned so much from that experience, all the ups and downs. And I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be writing the stories that I'm writing without everything on that journey. And I know that sounds like, a little cliche and whatever, but it's so true. And it's like, if I never did that and I kept holding back, because I actually wrote Calypso's Heart in 2019. I wrote it in January 2019. It took me 5 months. I was done in May, but I didn't publish it, and I didn't do anything with it. It sat there for months and months and months and months, and it sat there. And if I never decided to go, because you also touched on perfectionism, and I always joke around that I'm a recovering perfectionist. And so this book, Calypso's Heart, well, this is the dust jacket, but if I, this has been such a journey and a healing journey, and not only through creating and expressing and writing the actual words, but it's so therapeutic to art is therapeutic. I mean, there's so much stuff with therapy and art, but it's to just go through a journey. And then there's people in here, like I saw Julie join. Hey Julie, I saw Victoria, I saw some other people in here that have read the stories, and I so appreciate you, and not only like for all your love and support and encouragement, but also for your reviews and for your feedback, because it's so, because of that. And I know not all authors or artists and whatever you do listen or read or pay attention to the feedback that everyone's giving to whatever form it is, whether it's a review or a comment or whatever. But I personally, at this point in my life, at this point in my journey, I read and I listen to all the feedback, and I kind of filter it through this filter of taking what serves me and leave the rest. And it really has served me and helped me grow. And so I truly appreciate it. And so thank you. And thank you all for being here.
Yeah, same thing with my music. And I see some of my homies logged in. Thank you, you guys. And what we're talking about now is, this is my actual, like, legitimate sister in real life. And she is an author, and she's written a ton of great books. Probably none that you guys have read, because you guys are guys, and I know that probably not in your wheelhouse. But I wanted to touch on one last thing that we've talked about before too, and that is being aware of what space you are in, I am in, people are in, when you create. And with Calypso's Heart, like you were saying, or even me with my music, it was like the first song I wrote, like, I didn't want to release it. Oh my gosh, am I scared? What is it? All the things. And then once you release it, even I remember you're like, it's done. And I'm like, it's done. We've done it. We've done it, as though I was like, we've done it. And it was so kind of like, we can't, okay, there it is. And it's all of this energy. And then once you do it, it's kind of like time passes, you do it again, and it's no big deal, and not as big of a deal. But what I want to tell people is, if they're still listening, be aware of what stage you are at in your like creative process or whatever it is that you're releasing into the world, because sometimes we're in a really vulnerable space and we don't want to, I'll speak for myself. We don't want to share our stuff in the world because we're extremely sensitive and we haven't built like a secure base yet. So for me, it took some time to go, okay, am I the shit? Am I good? What is that on Cool Runnings where he's like, I am, a bad mother sucker who don't take no crap off nobody. I was like me doing that in the mirror. I was like, yes, this is it. This is the thing. And I feel like you kind of did the same thing when we were building ourselves up and going, okay, come to a mental space of enough fortitude to where you can put it out into the world and one bad comment isn't going to shatter you. You don't need to. I don't like to say need, but it's a good idea to have this foundational strength that's not too much one way where it's, oh, everyone that says something critical is the worst, or not too much the other way where it's everyone who says something critical, they're yep, I got to take it. It's that middle zone where you go, you know what? I'm going to put this out into the world, and it's okay if I get a negative comment. Yeah, it's going to ruffle my feathers a bit, but flick it off. And if I get a good comment, that's going to sit well and keep building up your confidence. So it's okay if you don't want to publish your work or do your thing until, what's up, QL? Until you're ready. It may be a year, it may be 40 years, but also know so it's not so scary. Once you jump off the perch and start flapping, you'll fly.
I love that. Even, the chicken dance.
Right.
Everyone start doing the chicken dance.
I know. I feel like I should have done this. Like, why are my wings so short? I should have used the full wingspan.
Yeah, I love that. I'm trying to there was something that you said and I can't remember now, but I wanted to touch on it, but it's okay. It'll come up later.
Yeah.
Or not, whatever it's meant to be. So
right.
Hello. If anyone has any questions or comments, or if you happen to have, even if you're watching the replay and you happen to have caught Marquesa's spoken word, we'd love to hear what you guys thought, how it landed. And let me see if there was any. I think we got a hello. Oh, hey, Lane. Hello. Okay. So, let me think here. Was there anything else, or, well, this whole thing has been about love, but really this whole event, Solaris, the Summer of Love, is really touching on love. And when you say that word, sometimes, or even people who are watching, what actually comes up when you say that word? What does that mean to you? And so today is actually, and this whole event, but today specifically with what Kesa shared with us, it's an aspect of love that we might not even think about, and it's this creative expression. So love can be a creative expression, and I'm gonna say it again because I find it so powerful. And for even those of you who are just joining in, this creating, okay, this sounds a little cheesy, but really creating from your heart space, from this space of love, and letting it just flow, however it flows, however it looks, however it may be, whether you share it with someone else, whether you don't share it, whether you just keep it in your own diary and you listen to it in a year from now or whatever. And just this whole purpose of this event, this whole week-long event that I'm hosting, is to invite more love into your life. And a part of what we were talking about today is not only this creative expression of love, but also we were touching on a little bit of self-love. And again, that's kind of like a buzzword, and it's been coming up lately, but what I mean by that is loving that part of yourself that is creating this. And so instead of creating something or even being too scared to create it, like you said, Kesa, just do it, just create whatever it is, and then have that love and compassion and being like, hey, I just did this damn thing, like whatever that is, and just be so loving to yourself instead of being like, oh, well, this is shit and this sucks and there's people that are doing this better than me, and you know, better art is objective, and it's also,
and we love to compare ourselves to the best. Oh my gosh, but well, I mean, I shouldn't, but Logic and J. Cole are way better rappers than I am, so I'm trash. I just started 3 weeks ago, so give me, you know what I mean? Or I don't know, a famous author, put a famous author on there, Marie or Solaris, and compare your work to them, and you're like, but blah blah is doing so good, and I'm like, true, that's great. By what measures? How are we measuring this? What is good to who?
And this is something that we were kind of touching on earlier about, and how long have you been doing this? And it, you know, and that absolute, where are you at in your own personal life, your own personal journey of your creative journey? Is this the first time you ever created something? Is this the first time you're going to create something a little bit different that you've never done before? Is this the 10,000th time that you've done it? It's going to look a little bit different between the first and the 10,000th. And either way, nothing's better, or, you know, to me, there's no like hierarchy. It's just who you are and where you are in that time that you've brought this thing into life, into your reality. There's a couple comments here. QL, all good if you two want to one-on-one, but I wouldn't mind, please jump in. I wouldn't mind jumping in on this once you guys have gotten through what you've planned. Definitely got a few things I can talk on when it comes to self-love. Oh, feel free to hop them in the comments. We'd love to we're, you know, I don't have anything else that is planned here. I don't know if you do, Kesa.
No, but talking about love in general, what a funny thing, and let's count the ways in which we define it. But what I like to say is, love is knowing I am everything. Wisdom is knowing I am nothing. And if life flows somewhere in between the two, then I'm right on the money, honey. It's funny to be in the middle, man. Dreams so big, steps little in, so many more to go. At least that's what I hope. Now, if you're looking for peace, please make it with the unknown. And if you're looking for me, she stays up in her zone. You call it a heart, well, I call it a home. And mine is warm and toasty. So come on in, and out of the cold, we got enough room for you, me, and anyone else who feels lonely. Now back to Aristotle and his golden mean. You see, we have more than enough, but the only people who don't seem to see it are almost every single one of us. But hear me out, because I really am someone you can trust. Now, if love is knowing you are everything, and wisdom is knowing you are nothing, well, allow your life to flow in between the two without rushing. You know, allow your self-love to be rooted in your soul. And allow your experiences to be vibrant and meaningful. And allow your relationships to be deep and full. And allow your focus to remain on only what you can control. Now, if you have a choice, why not reach for that glass that's half full? Because at the end of the day, Solaris, all life is a gift. And the only thing that we're responsible for is to enjoy it. That's the end of my riff.
I love it. I know people are like, you're biased. Yes, I'm biased. She's my sister. But I really could honestly listen to you all day sharing your wisdom, because it is, and your gift in this way, it's so powerful. And it's something that, I mean, there's a reason why storytelling is, I'm getting misty-eyed, because I love the way that you evoke emotion through your storytelling is so powerful. And I'm just waiting for the day till it's like your shit just blows up, because I can't imagine the way that it evokes emotions in me. I mean, you guys who are listening to this, let me know, like, do you guys feel that when she's when she's sharing the way that she's sharing it and her creative expression, it's just it. And the one of the best things that I love about it and the way that you evoke emotion is it's positive, it's uplifting, and it's in this very conscious and like elevating sort of way. And like you were saying from even in your bio, well, you didn't say this, but it was in your bio, and it's like you have this unique style of expressing, and so it's like a fun and flowy, and it's captivating. I honestly, I can't, it's like and even when I just have you on Spotify, like sometimes when I'm just like jotting down like notes or sending out things or whatever, like I'll have your music on in the background, and I also have like a high vibe kind of playlist, and it's so true. And I want to have that in my mind space to have, you know, the subconscious be stimulated in that positive way. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I love some
Drake Mob Ties. That is so good. Exactly. We love that. It's not exactly sending out like great messages for our youth that are sucking stuff up like the absorbent sponges they are, but gosh dang it, sometimes you need to just get out on the basketball court. I told you I was there when I was mad one day. I was like upset, and I listened to Mob Ties for at least 4 hours while I played basketball by myself. I was like, yeah. It's too late for all that lovey-dovey.
I mean, it has its,
but yes.
Yeah, it has its place. And oh, sorry, it's okay. There you are. The screen froze for a second. So yeah, your music has its place too, just as everyone's music, everyone's art, everyone's creative expression. There is no like, oh, it's oversaturated, or I mean, we're touching on a ton of shit today, but like this whole
we always do.
We always do. This is like a typical conversation between us too. But this idea of like oversaturation, or like we were talking about like competitiveness, or they're doing it better. I mean, again, art is subjective. This is all art. All of this is creative expression. And there is, and I 100% more than fully believe this, there is room for every single one of us who has a form of art. There is no like, you know, shelf room, shelf life. No, that doesn't exist at all, in my personal opinion. And
just because something catches wind and becomes popular by the masses doesn't mean it's better than something else. Just because Taylor Swift became, sorry, I had to come for T Swift, but just because she became this mega pop star, doesn't mean that her voice, her performance, her look was better than someone else's. No, it can mean a lot of things, and I know her story, so I know what hers means. But you know, luck, you're chosen, you got money. Oh boy, if you're awarded certain privileges in this society, which are being wealthy, but being good looking, that's a privilege. Of course, being white, a white male, privileges. These are all privileges. But it depends, of course, because being white and being a male, QL, you'll know this, but that actually is, that's something that can go against you in certain realms. You think of gangster rap, and that's a tough space to carve out. Of course, there's been Eminem. Of course, there's people who have done it, but it doesn't mean that it's any easier. But that's a whole nother deal. But I think of that. I mean, I know you're native too, but I mean, like, just how someone appears, just like how I appear. People, you know, think I'm a lot of different things, and I'm not. And people think my sister Solaris is as white as they come, and she's like, hey, I'm Asian, I'm Japanese, our mom was born in Tokyo, but she doesn't look that way, so she isn't awarded that privilege, or depending on the scenario, it's not a privilege. But yeah, that's what I think. I don't know, this has been interesting. I love that picture. If you guys notice the picture in her background, have you told them? She took that picture. She took that picture. That's in Huntington Beach. That's where she lives.
Yeah, so I live in Southern California. You know, you want to talk about gratitude and all the privileges and all the things.
Right.
Hell yeah, I am so grateful for where I freaking live. I'll tell you that.
Right.
And this, I try and go on beach walks as often as I can. And so I just took this from my iPhone, not even this phone. It was like an older phone, and I just took it. And
yeah, it was not like a nice new crisp phone either. It just turned out really well. But going into that again, now we're going on a different thing, and it doesn't matter because people can tune in whenever they want. But yeah, it was a canvas, and I feel like you got it printed at like CVS or Walmart or something.
Yeah, I did. I got it
yeah.
at CVS. It wasn't like some huge thing.
Right. You didn't spend hundreds of dollars and try it. Yeah, it was like you got like some sort of deal or something.
Yeah.
But,
anyways,
true to form.
I want to go back to true to form. And that's the thing. Creative expression can happen in so many different ways. And I'm not going to sell this or anything, but this brings joy into my life. Wait, I want to go back to some of these comments. Sorry. Hello. Thank you for joining. Hello. Easier to hop on camera. Just QL says easier to hop on camera. Just had to. Okay. I mean, I'm down. Are you down, Marquisa?
Sure.
Definitely. I have a friend who's Japanese. Her last name is Suto, but you'd think she was white. Okay, so
that's the story of your life.
QL, do you still want to hop in and go on video and, I don't know, share your thoughts on self-love? I do think
DOT is here. Dot, I don't know. I say DOT, the homie. He popped in too.
Hey, and I think we were going to kind of keep this around an hour-ish, so probably 10 more minutes. You requested, I'm sorry, let me look at this. I'm still kind of new to this whole, oh yeah, no, I see the little
Me
one,
too.
little one up. Sorry. Let me go in here. I'm sorry, I'm still new to Insta. Okay, all right, QL, sending a request.
Yeah.
How's it going?
What's up, bro?
Not much. It's freaking hot here.
Yeah.
Holy
Where
crap.
you at? Call out your location.
I'm just at home in New Westminster, BC. I wanted to say Vancouver because that's the one everyone knows. I'm just in a city outside of it.
Tell us everything. You got the sun shining too. I like it.
Oh yeah, no, it's nice. I had to. Although, I'm going to go for a little walk. So, about the self-love thing. That's what my music's all about. Like, you've heard my music. It's all about loving yourself. It's all about trying to figure out how to work your way through your head. Like, because we all have issues. And, like, for me at least, music is the way to get through all of those issues.
Right.
Like, and I know. And it's the same with you. Like, your music is really, like, I liked your music from the first time I heard it. Like right from the Submit Hub thing, and then you messaged me back and you're like, everyone's so mean on here. Thank you.
Right. People were brutal. They're like, what are you trying to do? This sucks. I'm like,
yeah, no, they're freaking mean to me too. Trust me. Half the people on there are like, love your voice, hate the production, love the production,
right.
Love your voice, hate the like one way or the other. Yeah, music is definitely subjective, and they're dicks.
Right.
But
no, exactly.
I definitely get what you guys are trying to say. Like, you're both, like you're her sister, or her friend, or like.
Yeah. No, actual sisters. Yeah.
Actual sister.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy.
Same parents and everything.
And you make music too?
No, so she's an author, and this is kind of her Solaris Summer of Love, MC Solaris, and she writes paranormal romance books, and she has a series, and so this is kind of tying into it, and it's about love, and it's about that's what this is all about, love. And
I love that.
So, these stories are all about, they're romance stories, so obviously they're all about love. And so this event today, and I love that a lot of people are super camera shy, including myself, and so I love the fact that you just decided to be like, hey, I want to on this discussion. We're talking about the power of love, we're talking about love, and you could feel that through, and just inviting more people into the world, and inviting you, who also is a creator in your own way, to express love and just hop on. And we've never spoken before, we've never messaged, I don't even know who you are, but the fact that you're
I'm her secret friend in Canada.
I love this, and that's what I hope, like, our art and our, I write art through storytelling, through books. You and, well, Kesa, you write it storytelling through your music and through your songwriting, and QL, I'm guessing you do the same thing too. And I love that so much. So thank you so much for being here and hopping on.
Well, yeah, no, like it's the second I heard what you guys were talking about, the second I saw Queso was live streaming, I'm like, okay, I got to see this.
First time, right? Yeah.
Yeah, first time, like, because you're so funny in the way, like, I'm telling you how to do things right, and you're like, I don't care, I'm gonna go do my own thing,
Right.
and I was just like, you know what, I respect that, and it's like I like that a lot about you. It's like the second I actually show that Harry Potter like album cover to everyone. I'm like, check this out, this girl's fucking awesome. Or sorry, I don't know if you didn't want to swear.
Solaris actually is my photographer. She is, we started out, we used to do modeling when we were younger together, yes.
Oh, damn.
But she, turned photographer, and so she kind of hunkers down and takes whatever pictures I need, and I was like, here's what we're going to do. And she helped me, and we clipped it, and
oh, that's awesome.
Like,
no, I really like that picture. Like the second I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, you're great.
right. And then people on Submit Hub, I actually like hopped back on and I put it on there, and they were like, cover is trash. What is this cover? I was like,
who the hell says that? You have no soul if you think that cover is trash.
right. Typical.
So, kind of tying back to this discussion of self-love and what we were talking about.
Yeah.
I'm assuming, and thank you everyone who's joining in. So this whole event, it's called Solaris' Summer of Love, and the whole point is to invite more love into your life in whatever way, shape, or form that means to you. And maybe those words right now, the way that I just said that, maybe it triggers you in some way, and you're like, whoa, that is like way too new age, or way too, or whatever it is, and just take a look at that, and it's like, well, yeah, why can't I invite more love into my life, and whatever that is. And today we were talking about love in the form of creative expression. So a lot of you on here are probably creators, and you guys are probably artists, just like me, just like both of you. And we're artists, and we are creating art. We're creating love in another type of expression. And so to touch on that, when we were talking about self-love earlier, and how when we do this creative art, we do this creative expression, we sometimes can be our worst critics. And so having that self-love and being like, yeah, hell yeah, I just did this thing, whether or not I share it with anyone or whatever, but yeah, I just did this thing and I freaking love it. No matter what, no matter who says what or doesn't say what, whether it's positive or negative or what the fuck ever, it doesn't matter. It's something that you created from your heart space. And that is powerful, and that is a form of love. And so I know in Case's music, I can absolutely feel the love. In any one of her songs, I can feel that emotion that we evoke. And as storytellers, and I would say art in any form is telling a story. And as storytellers, we are sharing emotions. We are evoking emotions. And I would say a lot of the times it kind of goes back to love. We're sharing this love, we're sharing this powerful thing that songs are written about. So many songs and stories are written about love for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And here we are doing it in a modernized way. And that is freaking amazing. And so I'm getting goosebumps right now just talking about that. Because
love is the most powerful emotion. And also marketing, like in general, marketing is all about sparking an emotion with people. And love is something that's always passed through down generation to generation. It's something that will never die out in our society. And like as a race, like it's just that powerful emotion that can change everything for somebody's life or even nations. Like it's just, it sounds corny as hell, but it's true. Like think about like Cleopatra and freaking like all of that, and Mark Antony, like everything, it boils down to love and what people will do for it. Sometimes it'll just be destruction. Sometimes it'll be creation. It's just about how you perceive it and how you react to it. And like for me, like,
and how you harness it and
how
you put it out into the world. And that's kind of what we're all trying to do and figure out.
Well, for me, my music, Yeah, my music has all been about my journey to find self-love, basically. If you listen to a lot of the lyrics, it's all me working through my head and trying to figure out how to get through it. Like, do you know the lyrics for Quit? Like, did you listen to the lyrics for Quit
I
when
can't
I
remember.
put,
You've sent me so many
it's like,
songs that I can't
oh,
remember.
this one's actually doing well. It got on a couple radio stations, but I think it's because it resonates with people in that way. It's like, and every time I feel diminished, I sit and listen to the melody that's all around me, and every word just keeps on spilling out. Because when I'm down and out, it's like there's something inside of me telling me to never doubt myself again. Like, that's just the beginning of it, and like, it's all about just trying to figure out how to love yourself when nobody else does. But what do they even matter?
Yep, yep, yep.
Yeah, I love that. And how we kind of touched on this earlier too, and that art is also very therapeutic, and how we're our number one cheerleaders for ourselves. And of course, we have other cheerleaders, I think, and I said in our squad, and it's so true. But really, you're doing this, and like Kesa said earlier, why are you doing this? I bet you started doing this for your freaking self. You know, whether you picked up the pen, you picked up the mic, you sat on the laptop, whatever it was, you started doing this for yourself. And that's a part of your own self-love journey. And we were kind of talking about the whole self-love thing, and how self-love and self-care is like this hot topic and this buzzword. And it is, but art is a way to take this concept of self-love and really not only work it out like therapeutically, and whether or not, again, you share it with anyone or not, or publish it or whatever, that's your own prerogative, and that's your own journey. But what you're doing is you're taking this thing within within yourself, and you are expressing it. And not only is that therapeutic, but it's also an expression of your own self-love. And how can you take this piece of art and hear it or listen or see it and really reflect on it and be like, wow, I did this. I did this, and I am proud of it. I don't need, and I think, Casey, you say this in one of your songs, like, I don't need anyone else's validation. And
Yeah.
it's great. I love getting feedback and positive, and again, having those cheerleaders and support and
Oh
love
yeah.
pick you up. But you know, you are your number one cheerleader. And so anyone who's watching this, just I'm guessing you guys are creators in some way. As Marquesa said, we all have a story and many stories to tell, and however you share that, this whole thing is about remembering love and remembering to love your creative expression however it shows up, and whether that looks something different than one day to the next, or whether you go back and look at something you created a year or 10 years ago, you know, taking a look at that and being like, that was who I was at that point, and I
Yeah.
love about myself, and I can have love for who I was in creating that, and it evokes these emotions and being like, yeah, that's where I was on that journey, and that's who I was. And so anyways, I know we're over the hour.
Yeah.
Kesa, well, do you guys have any last minute thoughts on this whole topic of self-love?
That is amazing. I actually do have a song that I'm working on that was I made it 12 years ago, and it was the young me talking to the older me, and like it was straight up just me like I needed to hear it because like it was basically just remember who you were, and it's like, and I heard it lately, and I've been like, I'm not gonna lie, I've been down because life has been throwing me like, you know, face shot after face shot. Like I lost my job, but now I'm pursuing music full time, and like, yeah, the self-love journey is something I'm only coming through to this year, and I definitely resonate with what you're saying, and I will help you promote your book.
And
Okay.
I would just want to say, yes, thank you. It was fun having you join. And I haven't, it's, to me, the journey is not consistent, is anything ever. And so, you know, I've said 2 years ago, I had said, oh, love yourself, past, present, and future. Love every version of yourself. Wah, wah, wah. And then I'll do it. I wrote a book on it too. And then life, like you said, QL, life comes in and it hits you like a big yellow school bus.
Oh yeah.
Takes you out of your
Oh yeah.
ways. And then you look at yourself and you're like, what am I? Why does it matter? Does it matter? And you have to pull from that, like we said before, that foundation of I matter. I love what I'm doing. And you start how I always end up pulling myself out is going, God, I've got a lot to be grateful for. I have a warm shower that I get to take every single day. I keep underpinning that because I didn't always have that. I have a bed I
Yeah.
get to sleep in every day. I have a car that has air conditioning. It's not a new car. It's not a brand new, but God damn it, I got air conditioning and I crank that up so cold. You know what I mean?
I slept in a closet on a mattress on my best friend's freaking floor for like 2 years, and I was grateful to have it because I just loved living there. Like, I'm not gonna lie. And also, my mom just joined. Hi, mom.
Hi, Mom. Yeah, and remembering all of the things that you take for granted, and it's not easy. And the last thing, I'm sorry, I know you have to go, but the last thing I want to bring up, and I want to bring it up earlier, is sometimes I try and put myself in situations where I can appreciate what I have more. And so even if it's, I'm going to sleep without a blanket tonight, or I'm going to drive in my car from LA to San Diego, back to LA again, and I'm not going to use the air conditioning. I know I keep stressing this, but guys, I had a car for a long time. We shared one, and no air conditioning, and it was brutal. It was
In
brutal.
LA?
I was
Oh,
sweating.
man.
I had all these things that happened, but I like to put myself in these positions so that I can remember. I remember, and even talking to people, give someone a chance. Like, especially those who can conceivably do nothing for you. Those people are the people that you want to talk to, and you want to try and give the gift of love and honoring them and respecting them by saying, hey man, what's up? How you doing? Like I
Little
said
acts of
earlier, you
kindness.
out.
That's what it's about.
Yeah. You
High
might
school,
not
there
have
was a
heard it, but I talked about
yeah.
it earlier
Oh,
with a
high
guy
school, there
named
was a kid. Everybody was mean to him, but I was always nice to him because, like,
Yeah.
it's about being that one person who's gives somebody something positive in their day
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yep. 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 Our father has always said, be kind and give many thanks. And so he
Yeah.
would always call us and tell us, hey, what gift did you give someone today? Not physical gift, but did you smile at someone? What gift?
That's
And we'd be like,
You had
Dad,
a
oh my
good dad.
gosh, no. We saw other
That's an
people
amazing
today.
lesson.
Right.
100%. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with him there.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that to my son now, actually.
Yeah. 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 What gift did you give someone?
Yeah.
Anyways,
Oh,
thank you. Thanks for
thank
this
you guys.
platform,
Yeah.
Solaris. Thank you,
No,
QL. It's always cool talking to you. I know we don't usually talk like this, but
Oh no, it's still cool. It's cool to actually have like a face-to-face sort of for once instead of
right,
just like a random message every couple of weeks like
right,
we usually do.
right.
so Kesa, like you were just talking about, just some, and I know QL, you're not some. To me, you're some random stranger I've never. So it's like hi, and
Hi,
it's
I'm Brandon.
yeah, just you felt called, like you heard what we were talking about, and you felt this emotions of what we were sharing, and it's so important. And that's kind of what this whole event was about, was to just bring more love into your lives, into people's lives. And so I love the fact that you were like, hey, I love what you guys are talking about, love, and how this whole thing is resonating, and that you hopped on. And I hope that this kind of interaction happen, it ripples out to anyone who's watching, whether it's now, in a year from now, tomorrow, an hour, whatever. I hope that this, like, hey, yeah, come on, come on over, hop on the freaking train over here, and we can just continue to have these random interactions with strangers and spread more love into ourselves, and into other people. And so thank you so much for
No
being here.
worries. I heard what you were talking about, and it's something I've been learning this year. Like this last year has been like my biggest stepping stone in learning self-love and like self-care and like trying to figure my life out, what I want to do, who I want to be. And like I'm 32 now. So like I'm only learning it this year. So like you're not behind if you're having hard times in your 20s or even your 30s. Like you just got to look ahead and try and figure out what you want and who you want to be.
And ultimately, at the end of the day, I try not to put stresses, like how I, piggybacking off of that, like how I address it is, what do I want? Good feelings. What do we all
Yep.
want? Good feelings. And define that however you want to define it. But if you want to feel good, you know what's amazing about that? You have the opportunity and ability to do that right now. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to do anything. You create those feelings. So if you want to feel good, you can feel good. Just like Shorty, who had no physical possessions other than his cart. He sleeps in between two buildings and he's happy as hell. Like, you can
Oh
have
yeah.
it, we all can have it, and it's this capital. I'm sorry, I always try and.
No, I was walking by the neighborhood homeless guy, and he just has a smile on his face all day, every day, and he
Right.
sleeps at a school, and he's comfortable with his life. Like, he could go get a job, he could go do these things. He doesn't, because he likes his life as it is. He's happy.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
and it's crazy seeing these people with nothing being so content.
Right, and those who seem to have all of these material things,
They're so miserable.
Yeah. What's that
Yeah.
about, huh? Anyways,
I'm
thank
guilty,
you,
but yeah,
Solaris.
thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah.
Love
And
you.
if you guys didn't catch it in the beginning, so Shorty, Marquesa was talking about Shorty, and that was actually she shared a spoken word poetry. I think that's what, sorry. Essentially, I call it just her songwriting, but she shared a spoken word poetry of this message of not only love, but specifically Shorty showed up in her story of her, of this song. And so we're about to end this, and I invite you guys to go back and catch the replay. It'll be on my page, MC Solaris author. And really, again, Marquesa, you have such a powerful way of evoking emotions into your storytelling. And QL, it sounds like you do the same. And I would bet every single person on here, no matter what you are creating an emotional experience for either yourself or others, or for, like QL was kind of talking about, your future self, you know. And whatever that is, you're doing the damn thing. Continue to do the damn thing. And while you're doing it, remember to be proud of yourself. Remember this practice of self-love, and to love yourself, love your creative expression in whatever form, whatever way, shape, whatever it takes, however it takes shapes. Just, you know, do it and keep doing the thing. And
Never give in to negative feedback.
Yeah.
You know,
If you love it, that's all that matters. Sorry to cut you off.
No, totally okay. Again, thank you so much for hopping on.
Sorry.
I hope other people watch this video and see just this, and not only feel the emotions, but just be more willing to just have conversations. And not saying to just have conversations with strangers, but to just spread more love into the world.
On the street,
you do a conversation with someone or not.
I do that sometimes, but just I'm an oddball.
Show is spinning. We're kind of losing connection.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll let you guys go.
I think it's a sign to kind of cut it from here. So anyways, thank you all for joining. Thank you so much, QL, for hopping on. Thanks so much, Kesa, for being here.
Thanks for having me.
For sharing all of that. All right. Thank you all. Bye.
Bye. Also,
Bye.
glad
Take
I wore
care.
pants, because it looks like I'm getting the full. I almost didn't wear pants. I didn't know we were doing full Monty here. So, okay, put on pants, and that's good. Don't love them because I have a little extra thing here, but that's okay. All right. Bye.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. I don't